What's up, everybody? The construction crash in Vancouver is not something that might happen. It's already started. And the ripple effects from this are going to be felt for years to come. A few years ago, we were in one of the biggest building booms this country has ever seen. There was cheap money, developers launching projects left, right, and center, pre-sales flying off the shelf. It felt like nothing could stop it, but here we are today, and it's completely flipped. We are now experiencing one of the slowest real estate markets on record. In Toronto, the biggest city in Canada, the first quarter of 2026, developers launched 0 new projects. None. Here in Vancouver and across Metro Vancouver, the presale market has basically collapsed. Developers are in straight up survival mode. And when construction slows down this fast, it doesn't just hurt developers, it hurts the whole system. Workers, buyers, homeowners, and anyone hoping to find housing in the next few years. So today I'm going to walk you through the 10 effects of this construction crash. We'll go from the most obvious to the most surprising, the stuff most people haven't even connected the dots on yet, so let's get into it. Number 1, projects getting canceled. This one is already happening right now and has been for the last year. A lot of developers are quietly pushing their projects so far into the future that they may never actually get built. And here's why. To get a construction loan, you need to pre-sell a certain amount of the building. We're talking 60 to 70% of units need to be sold before you can even break ground for the developer to get their financing. Right now, developers can't even sell 20 or 30%, so the math just doesn't work. No pre-sale means no construction loan. No construction loan means no project. It's as simple as that. These cancellations are happening quickly. Most people don't hear about them, but they're piling up every single month. Number 2, developers are going bankrupt. We've seen the headlines, big developers going bankrupt, projects collapsing in the middle of construction, higher interest rates, higher building costs. Those are real factors. But the bottom line is the market has shifted and developers can't move units like they used to. They're getting squeezed from every direction and some of them simply cannot survive it. This isn't a small problem. This is happening at a scale we haven't seen in a very long time, any time in my lifetime. Number 3, construction job losses. When construction slows down this fast, jobs just absolutely disappear. A lot of jobs. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here. I'm just telling you what the data says. We went from one of the biggest construction booms in recent memory where companies were growing, hiring like crazy, fighting over workers, to one of the fastest slowdowns probably since the 1990s. All those jobs that were created during the boom, they have to go somewhere. And right now, that somewhere doesn't exist. We're already seeing layoffs, and unfortunately, this is just the beginning. If no new construction happens in Toronto, we're not going to see any new jobs for those construction workers that finished on other projects. Number 4, projects are taking way longer to complete. Here's one that a lot of people miss. Even buildings that are already under construction have been slowing down. Why? Because the developer doesn't have another project lined up after this one, so they don't have a reason to rush. They need to keep their workers busy, keep all of their people employed, so they stretch out that timeline. I'm seeing this firsthand right now. Some projects that were supposed to complete in 2026 are now pushing out to the end of the year or 2027. Developers are basically buying time, hoping that the market turns around so they can sell that product at a higher price. But so far, that hasn't happened, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. Number 5, worse construction quality. I want to be fair here, this doesn't apply to every developer, but when the margin gets thin, some builders start cutting corners. They know they're not making much money, some are losing a ton of money, and they don't have another project lined up to look forward to get that cash back. So they start looking for places to save. And unfortunately, sometimes that can show up in the product. We've seen it before. Remember the Leaky condo crisis in Vancouver? That came out of a construction cycle where corners got cut and it took years to clean up the mess with special assessments that were absolutely absurd for a lot of everyday people and homeowners. And I think we could be heading into another wave of that in the future. If you're buying new build right now, especially multiplex, a duplex, or new detached home, please get a proper inspection, even if it's brand new. Do a walkthrough. Do not skip these steps. Most developers don't allow for an inspection, but you can always get your walkthrough. And then once you move into the home, get an inspection done, at least for peace of mind. Number 6, more lawsuits. Poor construction leads to lawsuits. Simple as that. We're going to see more strata suing builders. Homeowners going after warranty companies. Homeowners fighting with insurance companies. Yes, new builds in Greater Vancouver come with a 2-5-10 home warranty, but just because it's covered doesn't mean it's an easy fix. Sometimes actually getting that warranty honored can involve lawyers and a legal team for you. A lot of the time, getting that warranty honored is a tough struggle. Sometimes you might have to get a lawyer on your side. And there's another side to this too. Subcontractors are starting to sue developers. Right now, there's a massive lawsuit where a subcontractor is going after a developer for unpaid bills. Think about how the system works. The big developer hires a general contractor. That contractor brings in subcontractors for framing, windows, concrete, electrical, you name it. Those subs are not employees. They're independent companies. And when they don't get paid, they sue. We're going to see a lot more of this, I think. Number 7, business across the industry is collapsing. It's not just developers feeling the pain. We've already seen companies like Coast Appliances file for bankruptcy in the last couple of weeks, directly citing the slowdown of residential construction. Think about how many businesses depend on a healthy construction market. Suppliers, distributors, lumber yards, appliance stores, equipment rentals. They all ramped up during the boom. They all hired more people. They all expanded. And now that the work is dried up, they are downsizing so much. This is going to create such a bigger wave than people talk about for, companies closing, people losing their jobs. It's going to be wild. Not looking forward to it. Number 8, baby boomers stuck in their homes. Okay, this one hits a little different. And it's one of those quiet effects that most people don't think about it. A lot of baby boomers in Metro Vancouver have owned their home for decades. Their mortgages are paid off. And a lot of them are sitting on properties that are extremely attractive to developers for rezoning and redevelopments. Think about the Broadway corridor. Think about areas around SkyTrain stations like Langley. These homeowners have been waiting for a developer to knock on their door, buy them out at a premium, and let them downsize and retire. But right now, developers are not knocking on these doors to create those deals. So these homeowners are basically stuck at an inflated price that they may or may never got, and they're definitely not getting it now. They don't want to sell at market value because they're holding out for that developer premium, but the wait could be years and years from now, and they might ever move. Who knows? And here's what that creates. You start to see neighborhoods where homes aren't getting maintained. Why replace the roof if a developer might tear down a house anyways? Why fix the foundation leak? And here's what that creates. You start to see neighborhoods where homes aren't getting maintained. Why spend all the money on replacing a roof if a developer might tear it down anyways? Why fix the foundation leak? Why maintain the landscaping? So around rezoned areas in your SkyTrain corridors, we're starting to see more rundown properties, and that's really unfortunate. And that affects the look and feel of entire neighborhoods. Number 9, future housing shortage. I know this sounds crazy. Right now, we have more inventory than we know what to do with. The supply versus demand aspect is probably the biggest gap I've ever seen. So how can there be a housing shortage coming? Here's how. If builders stop building today, there will be nothing to sell in 2, 3, or 4 years. Construction takes time, and that pipeline is drying up right now. The current inventory will eventually get absorbed. It's going to take some time, but when it does, there will be nothing new coming behind it. So every expert who looks at this market says the same thing. Short-term surplus, long-term shortage. I think the detached homes, multiplexes, and duplexes will feel a shortage first because those build cycles are shorter. In a couple of years, supply in those segments could get very tight. Whatever you think about affordability in Metro Vancouver, a housing shortage definitely doesn't help. It always makes things worse. Number 10, construction costs drop, then explode. Last one. And this one actually is two-part effect. Right now, as projects dry up, contractors are competing hard for whatever work is available. You have 10 companies bidding for the same job and undercutting each other as they go. So construction costs will likely drop. That sounds good, but here's the catch. When prices drop that low, companies go out of business. Tradespeople leave the industry and go try to find other work. They could leave the province. They could leave the country. Who knows? But they definitely move on. And then when the market eventually recovers, we need builders again. We won't have enough. We saw that exactly play out during the boom. Construction costs skyrocketed because there weren't enough tradespeople to meet the demand. Companies could charge whatever they wanted because everyone needed them. That's what's coming on the other side of this. The pendulum is swinging from one extreme all the way to the other, and both sides of the swing are painful no matter which way you look at it. All right, those are the 10 effects I'm watching come out of this construction collapse right now. Some of them are playing out as we speak, and others are going to sneak up on us over the next few years. But none of this is really a surprise if you're paying attention to what's going on. If you found this video useful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate every single person that watches these. It keeps me motivated to film more videos. If you're thinking about buying or selling here in Greater Vancouver, my info is going to be linked below. Let's have a chat. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.